So the Ein Yakov today we're holding in Tractate Yevamot, and it's called the interpretation of Deuteronomy 25, chapter 25, verse 6. The rabbis expounded the verse defining Yibum. What is Yibum? It shall be the firstborn if she can bear shall succeed to the name of his dead brother, so that his name not be blotted out from Israel. So the Torah says that if, God forbid, a brother died, so then the other brother, like if Reuven died, Shimon should remarry, or Shimon should take the wife of Reuven if they don't have any children. So you should have a continuation. It shall be the firstborn. This tells us that the oldest brother of the deceased husband has the duty to marry the Yavam through Yibum. That's why I used the example of Shimon, because Shimon comes right after Reuven. So the oldest brother, if she can bear, excludes a woman who cannot bear children, shall succeed to the name of his dead brother with regards to inheritance. The Yavam who marries the Yavama is entitled to his deceased brother entire inheritance and does not have to share it with other brothers. If he gets to marry the wife of Reuven, then he is allowed to keep the inheritance. The Gemara asks, you say with regards to inheritance, taking the Yavam as the subject of shall succeed, perhaps it means with regards to the name and the subject of shall succeed is the firstborn child that will be born from the Yibum. For example, if the deceased was called Yosef, right, the child should be named Yosef. For the new marriage, the new union, the child should be called Yosef after his father, after his first, so to speak, father, his mother's first husband, or his uncle in this case, his deceased uncle, which was supposed to be his father, but he passed away. If Yochanan, the child, should be named Yochanan. If the father's name was Yochanan, it should be called Yochanan. The Gemara answers here, it says, shall succeed to the name of his dead brother. And elsewhere it says, concerning Ephraim and Menashe, they will be included under the names of their brothers with regards to their inheritance. When Yaakov blessed his children, he told his son Yosef that since he did not grow up from 17 to 30, he was away from his father, and he had this Menashe and Ephraim outside of Eretz Yisrael, in the land of Mitzrayim. Therefore, Yaakov considered Menashe and Ephraim as part of the 12 tribes. They became one of the 12 tribes. So it says they will be included under the names of their brothers with regards to their inheritance. So every tribe had an inheritance in the land. Once they conquered and divided the land, each one had the inheritance, including, so there was no inheritance for the tribe of Yosef. There was inheritance for his son Menashe and inheritance for his son Ephraim. Each one got his own inheritance in the land. Each one received a portion in the land. Just as the name that was mentioned there in Genesis has to do with inheritance, so too over here, the name that it mentioned here has to do with inheritance, because we have two ways of interpreting shall succeed. Either shall succeed means that the inheritance goes to the brother, to the new husband, and not to the other brothers, or it means that he has to give him the same name that his brother had. Right? So the Gemara says, no, we're learning it from the story of Menashe and Ephraim, that they, over there the Torah speaks about succeed, goes to, that the inheritance will go to them, so too over here. So that his name not be blotted out, this exempts from Yibum and Chalitza, the wife of Chanoch. Since he cannot have children, his name is anyhow blotted out. In a case where she's barren, she cannot have any children, his name is erased anyway. Rava said, although throughout the Torah no verse ever loses its plain meaning, there's always interpretation to the verses, but you cannot take away the simple meaning from the verse. Meaning we have to keep the simple meaning, whatever the Torah tells me, and on top of it, then there are other interpretations. But I'm not allowed to take away the plain meaning of the verse. Here we have a Gezer Shava. Gezer Shava is the rule that similar words in different contexts are meant to clarify one another. Even if I find one verse in the book of Genesis and one verse in the book of Exodus, and they both have using the same words, and we have a doubt in regards to one verse, we can look back at the verse in Genesis and say, oh, now it clarifies what I have a challenge with over here. In this case, the word name that has entirely stripped the text of its plain meaning, which is that the child should be named after the deceased father, yet the Gezer Shava teaches us that this is not necessary. Baruch Tiyu.